So this network and the dynamic is going to continually decentralize, continually dissipate. It's going to continually move away from population centers where the electricity is expensive. It's going to move to places where the electricity is stranded, where it needs to be recycled. And that 30 gigawatts is going to create a thermodynamic connection between the virtual network and the physical world. This is what makes the network stable. This is what makes the network ethical. This is what makes the network politically sound. The fact that electricity is going to be coming off of a dam in Bhutan or a volcano in South America or Africa means that this is going to be a global neutral asset. There's no way anybody's going to centralize the Bitcoin network on top of a single data center. That's what makes Bitcoin the best crypto network. Now, beyond that, Bitcoin's the best crypto brand. Why is it the best crypto brand? Well, 220 million Bitcoin holders, people that have an economic interest in Bitcoin, 420 million crypto users around the world. The crypto industry has been aggressively marketing and aggressively expanding on the backs of lots of different use cases, not just Bitcoin as store of value or property, but also cryptocurrencies, stable coins, NFTs, everything under the sun. And this continues to grow. It's a incredibly aggressive, fast-growing, creative market. The marketing is extraordinary. But there's an important point to be made here. As the other crypto assets fail because of competition, as the Solana competes with Ethereum, competes with whatever, as they fail due to regulation, as they get shut down or they get labeled unregistered securities by regulators, as they fail due to entropy, just the complexity of what they're attempting to accomplish, and they crash or they get hacked or they unwind, or as people move away from their projects, as those failures take place, all the users in the crypto ecosystem and all the capital in the crypto ecosystem is going to flow into the best network. It's going to flow into Bitcoin because Bitcoin has 100% crypto acceptance. If you talk to everybody in the world and you say, well, do you like crypto? Yeah, I do. Well, is Bitcoin legitimate? What's the most secure, what's the most credible crypto network? Well, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the O positive, right? It's the universal donor, right? Everybody can't agree on anything else. If you talk to people in the crypto ecosystem and you ask them whether or not they like Solana better than this or Tether better than that or NFTs better than this, they can't agree on that. That's competitive, that's controversial, that's confusing. Everybody agrees on this one thing, Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be around for the long term. The industry was built on it. It'll be around long after most of the other industry participants are gone. Well, Bitcoin's not just the best crypto brand. It's the best investment brand. There is no second best investment brand. People know about the dollar, but dollar's not an investment unless you're in a country with the currency collapsing. And if the currency's not collapsing, then you need a different investment. Okay, Bitcoin's the most widely held investment asset in the world, right? People are coming to grips with that. I travel all over the world. I get on the runway in the middle of Switzerland, and the guy with the yellow vest knows me. He's buying Bitcoin for his daughter. He just got married. I walk to the beach in Italy, and someone swimming off the beach yells at me, and they know me. I walk into a room full of billionaires, they know me. I walk to a bar, and the guys at the bar turn around, and they know me. This happens in Uruguay. It happens in Mexico. It happens in Brazil. It happens in Italy. It happens in Greece. Happens in Switzerland. It happens in London. Happens in New York City. Happens in Asia, right? Why, right? Bitcoin's a sports team with hundreds of millions, arguably 400 million fans, and they're all rooting for the same thing. And when Bitcoin's doing well, they're all in a good mood. It's like their blood sugar's up. When Bitcoin's doing poorly, it's all they're in a surly mood, their blood sugar is down. But, give me another example of a team that's got 400 million passionate fans and they're all winning or losing together, right? What's making news on Sunday afternoon? Bitcoin. When there's a scare of a war, what's crashing? What can you sell? Bitcoin. When you decide the war's not coming, what can you buy? Bitcoin. What is there to tweet about, talk about? Bitcoin. What do you cover on YouTube on a Saturday or Sunday or midnight on the East Coast? Bitcoin, right? Everybody's got something to say about it. What is it? Well, and why is it? Well, first of all, it's the most widely held asset in the world because it's a standardized economic unit, right? I mean, maybe we own watches, but we own different watches. Maybe we own buildings, we own different buildings, right? Maybe your building is worth more in Paris, but how does that help my building in Los Angeles? We're not on the same team. We're not on team building, right? We're not on team watch. And good luck, trying to invest in like Apple stock in Nigeria, right? And so what is Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's the economic solution to everybody. It's a global economic solution to billions of people, right? And what does it become? It's become cool. Bitcoin's cool. It's useful. It's global. It's standard. Who's the last person to standardize something? Well, I mean, people have been standardizing things for thousands of years, but you might know the name of one company, one Standard Oil. John D. Rockefeller launched Standard Oil, and it became such a household word. In fact, just about every oil company in America came from John D. Rockefeller's company. Half the oil companies in Europe came from John D. Rockefeller's company. We all zoned out and we thought oil. We forgot about the standard part. The standard part was this is the oil that's not going to blow up in your face and set your house on fire. This is the oil that's actually got clean chemical properties. Standardizing energy was the most powerful idea in the 20th century. Made the richest man in the 20th century and created every single energy company. But what is this? This is standard capital. This is standard wealth for 8 billion people. It's, so tell me the next standard, right? Give me another asset that goes up in value, not down in value, that's standardized, open to, and global to everybody, right? And the answer is, there is no second best, right? There's a standard investment brand. It's called Bitcoin. It's always interesting. It's egalitarian. You can buy $1 billion worth of it, and it's a pretty good idea to buy $1 billion, but you can buy $23 worth of it. And if you look at the wealthy in the world, they buy buildings, but how's a cab driver in Nigeria supposed to buy a fraction of a building, right? How does it impact the other 7.9 billion people that can't afford a building, right? This is egalitarian capital, egalitarian property, and it's prestigious, right? So this is the ultimate luxury brand. People used to buy the nice watch, so they figure they could sell it if they ever needed to eat or pawn it, right? But you'd much rather have Bitcoin in your watch. Bitcoin's the best digital commodity. There's no second best digital commodity. What is a digital commodity? It's the only crypto in the world recognized as an asset without an issuer by all major regulators. By all major regulators. Okay, the Chinese recognize it. The Russians recognize it. Right? The enemies of the U.S. recognize it. In Singapore, in the UAE, in the U.S., in Brazil, everywhere. This is the one thing everybody recognizes. So the question is why? Why? It's not the first. It's not the only. There's 2.5 million copies. Why? It's because of the Immaculate Conception. What is the Immaculate Conception? By the way, it's such a simple idea, and yet everybody that's copied Bitcoin hasn't got this simple idea in their head. Satoshi created a way. He gave it away. And he went away. Walked away. That's the idea. There's not a single major company in the world where someone created the company, gave it to the world, and walked off. And in fact, if you look at every other crypto asset, there is no Satoshi, right? In fact, the way you know that they're not commodities is they're all arguing that they're commodities. Satoshi's not arguing anything. Satoshi went away, gave it to you, right? And this is the essence of it. If something's going to be a commodity, there can't be a beneficiary. Satoshi gave up control of the protocol. Satoshi gave up the Satoshi coins. Satoshi stopped trying to influence the network. It was a gift to the world. That's what makes it an asset without an issuer. If you go and make a list of the next 100 cryptos and you go down the list, you're going to be hard-pressed to find that. But that's a simple asset test. By the way, it's a lot easier than the Howey test. You know, if you wanted to figure out whether you're a security, if you created something, did you give it all away to someone else? Did you never sell it? And are you gone and not arguing over it? And then maybe it is. So I have simple advice for someone that wants to create a digital commodity, right? Give it away and walk away. Bitcoin is not just the best digital commodity. It's the best commodity, right? Bitcoin's the only commodity in the world, that's digital. Everything else is a physical commodity. And because it's digital, it's fixed in supply. Everything else is physical, therefore not fixed in supply. That makes Bitcoin superior to gold, and gold is the king of commodities. You know, when I started my career at DuPont, commodity was a dirty word. Every single business decision made by the DuPont Corporation was to escape a commodity business and create a specialty business. Nobody wanted to manufacture or sell commodities, and the reason why is they knew they were all eventually driven to zero profitability, or every commodity provider eventually has to produce the commodity at a loss in order just to run their capital. And so commodities are awful investments, and gold is simply, you know, the least worst of an awful investment. Why is Bitcoin the best? It's global, it's digital, it's programmable, it's inelastic, it's durable, it's divisible, it's portable. These are all the things that every other commodity is not.